Alright, good evening. It's been a while since I made a video. I thought it's only appropriate to start with the basics. So I haven't cleaned my camera in a while. Going on a trip to Cebu City this coming week. So thought this would be appropriate time to quickly go over my cleaning routine. Most importantly of my two lenses, 240 to 24 millimeter, which is this bad boy. All right, so we're gonna start with the sensor part, which attaches to the camera frame. So a few things that we're gonna do first. We're just gonna brush it with our fine brush. So you can see it's super fine brush. So just kind of tilt your lens upside down so any dust that does fall out falls down, not into the lens. Give it a nice brush all over along the edge of the fixture as well. And then it's going to be the air pump. So there's small particles I can see, so I'm just gonna blow that off. All right, that's looking fairly clean, fairly good. I don't see any spots, I don't see any smudges. I'll only use the swab, the sensor cleaner, which is this one, the sensor cleaner, and the swab. This is for APC. You can get the full frame one. The only difference is the diameter or the width of this one is smaller, so you're gonna have to go over a few times instead of just one time, two times, three times. I just like it. It's more diverse, can use it in more different options. So just as we were talking, there's some particles that fell onto the sensor side. So yeah, this one's looking good, so I'll just turn it upside down. Next I have just bring this down a little bit. Next I have the magnetic cap, and here we have just the UV protector. Only reason why I put this one on is because in case my lens falls or someone bumps into it or something falls onto it, it's just the extra layer of protection. So again, we're gonna use the brush. Just brush off any loose particles that might be a little bit sticking to the lens, and this also prevents the dust from going to your actual glass on your lens. Then we're just gonna get the blower, blow off any big particles, and then if I see it's not too dirty, I'll just use the microfiber cloth, but I can see that there are some spots, some water spots on the lens currently. So what I like to use is lens paper. So this is basically a disposable paper that you can use. It's ultra thin, as you can see right through it. And then we're just gonna use the lens cleaner. So I'm just gonna put a small amount, so just one squirt on there, and then we might need to use 2 or 3 of this lens paper. You can see the lens cleaner, so I'm just going to gently work my way in circular motions around the lens until I can see no more water droplets. So yeah, actually seems like one lens paper is enough. Nice and clean. And just gonna blow it one more time. And then also something that's very important, your cap. Inside the cap, always just blow out that as well to prevent any particles that might be able to fall on your lens. Snap that back on, and now we're gonna remove that, and we're going to do the other side. So now this side is quite clean. I cannot see any particles. I can see one particle, just the same tissue. I'm just gonna use that to go around it one time. It's all about saving money, guys. This is not a cheap hobby. Use the blower, let that lens cleaner evaporate, and then I'm just gonna put it flat on my laptop surface so there's no particles that can fall on there. Next thing, we're gonna focus on the actual lens. So it's quite clean because I have the UV protector on. Just gonna blow out all the particles that might have got in there. And I'm just gonna use the microfiber cloth on this one. Just work my way from the outside to the inside, making sure there's no marks. All I can see is there's a few particles from the cloth now. So use the blower, get that off. You can see it's super clean, no particles. And then we're just gonna screw on the lens cap one more time, and then we're gonna move over to the 90mm lens. So I've got the cap on here, so I'm gonna remove that since we are finished with this one. Pop that on there, and then we move our focus to this bad boy. So earlier I did notice that there's some watermarks on the sensor side on this one. So what we will do is we will actually use one swab. So open it, get that ready, right? And then what you do is you're gonna take the sensor cleaner, and you're not gonna drop it directly on there. That's a bad idea, because any moisture that goes in there can cause fungus, can cause cloudiness inside your lens itself. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take this lens sensor cleaner, take out our sensor swab. You can see it's got this white soft material on the tip of it. Just going to put 1, 2, 3 drops on the one side. Okay, close that back up, make sure it's secure. Now I'm just going to let that soak in completely, and meantime I'm going to use my fine brush and just brush it out. Make sure there's no particles that are inside, and then I'm going to blow it out with my blower, keeping it upside down on the outside as well. And then what we're going to do is we're going to work from one side to the other side. So the wet side that you wet, but as you can see now, it's kind of soaked in onto both sides. That's what you want. You don't want that extra moisture to go onto the lens side sensor. So going from one side all the way to the other side, and then lift it up and go from one side to the other side, and then we're going to repeat it towards the other side, repeat it to the other side, and then one more time, and one more time. Okay, so I can see that it's quite wet still inside there. So what I like to do is I like to take my lens paper and then just fold it up so I can get it right in there. I'm just going to dry it up. Just work it all the way around very gently, just to make sure all the moisture is mopped up so we don't have any moisture left inside there. Remove that delicately. We have a look. So now there's absolutely no watermarks, completely clear. One more air pump just to get any of the particles that might be on the paper towel, and then we're gonna keep this upside down so there's no particles that can go inside. Now we're gonna go to the lens side. Again, your cap, let's quickly brush it out. Sometimes the heavier particles are more difficult to get out of the air pump, so loosen that up first. Make sure everything is nice and clean. Alright, that's looking fabulous. Outside, around, do a quick air pump. Obviously the better you maintain your equipment, the longer it's gonna last, right? So I'm gonna quickly, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to spray it on the lens this time. I'm going to spray it on top of the lens paper, and then I'll work my way around on that one. Right, so this one is more of a concave lens. It's bulging out a little bit, so to get the edges nice and clean as well is quite important. Just slowly work my way around, making sure there's no moisture left over, no watermarks. And usually if you see there's watermarks, you just take one more of your lens papers to just mop all that extra excess off. The lens paper is quite cheap, so don't worry about that. Take the wet one, take it off, get your dry one, and then just make sure you don't get any moisture or watermarks on the lens. Every single detail, every single spot that you might have on your lens, especially on macro photography, will show up in your end product. Obviously there are features on Lightroom, Photoshop, which you can turn on to detect any particles on your photo, which is a great feature that's been very helpful, especially when I don't have time to make sure my lens is completely clean or my sensor is completely clean. But yeah, it's key to always keep your lenses nice and clean and dust free. So there you can see the aperture. It's right now completely closed. So this is the focus ring on the side, and then we have the different controls, the steady shot, the distance, focal distance, and your custom button. This is the 90mm macro G OSS lens. It's quite an old lens, but it is super sharp, super detailed, and I absolutely love this. I love this lens not only for macro photography but for portrait photography as well. It keeps your image super sharp, great detail, and macro photography, it just absolutely shines as well. Right, so we have both the lenses clean now. Now we're gonna move on to our main important part, which is our camera. So right now I can already see there's a hair that just came on there. My sensor is quite clean, but since we've already opened one of these, I'm gonna utilize it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just put one more drop on there. I'm gonna let it soak in so it's evenly spread. That's it. And then I'm gonna start with the brush, and I'm gonna just turn it upside down and just gently brush around in case there's any particles that's gotten inside and sitting on the fixture, on the lens sensor, anything that might have gone in there. And always keep your camera upside down. You don't want things to fall into the camera, always fall out of the camera. I'm just gonna start softly to blow out, and then I'm gonna go a little bit harder. I must say though, the sensor is quite clean, but like I said, since we already have the swab out ready to go, we might as well. So go from one side to the other side and repeat the process, one side to the other side, and then we reverse it and we go from one side to the other side, one side to the other side. There's no watermarks. I'm gonna blow it out one more time. Make sure it's completely dry. Alright, that's looking really good. Now I'm gonna attach the macro lens on here, and then I'm gonna do one more final feature that most people don't talk about while they're doing their camera maintenance and cleaning procedures. So we turn on the camera now, Then you go into your menu button, and we have a menu that's called, or setting on your menus. Under settings, it is the second one out of 7 pages, and it's called cleaning mode. So just listen to this when it starts. I'm going to select it, and I'm going to say enter. So you heard that vibration? That was the lens shaking to remove any dust particles. So I'm going to turn it off again and turn on again. And then let's see how this is looking. So looking good. Nice and clean and sharp. I can see the dust particle on my glasses. Incredible. Right, super sharp, super detailed. Love this lens. So let's pack this up. What I'll do now is turn it off. Just take this brush. All of these nooks and crannies I'll just brush out. Make sure there's no dust particles, no sand, any kind of sticky residue, any kind of dirt that feels like it needs to stick around. And then on my screen I'm going to use one of these damper ones that I use to clean the sensors and the lenses. Just wipe that down and take the drier one and kind of make sure it's nice and clean, no watermarks. And then a final rub down with the microfiber cloth. Right, that's nice and clean. And then for the viewfinder, just gonna use the sensor cleaner. It fits perfectly in there. Nice and clean. Air blower, get that out. Open your screen. In between all of these nooks and crannies, just blow that out. So here I can see some buildup. So get the brush in there, really dust it out. You don't want any dust or particles building up, because once it starts to build up, it is a nightmare to clean. And the thing is, the times I really put extra attention on cleaning my camera is when I went out to the beach, because sand is a nightmare. Right, so that's done, nice and clean everywhere, no dust anywhere. And guys, there we have it. One camera body and 2 lenses, fully cleaned, ready for action in Cebu this weekend. The brand I used for my cleaning is VS Go. Right, you get a full hamper when you purchase this item. It comes with your sensor swabs. You get 5 or 6 of them. You get the micro brush, double-ended. This side is for your concave lenses. Very nice microfiber, just to kind of go around that. Didn't use that today. You obviously get the sensor cleaner. You get the lens cleaner, the lens paper, the air pump, microfiber cloth, which you get additional 1, and then you also have the flawless picture drive from cleaning wet pipes. Right, you get 5 of those. So that's basically everything you get in this bundle, and you get a nice carrying case. I'm just gonna pack everything away now, and then I'm gonna show you exactly what that case looks like. Everything fits perfectly, nicely. Make sure everything is secure. Put it in their holders. Put the pump in there. So I'm just gonna hold that. So it all comes in a nice little case like this. Everything fits inside. Close it up. Everything is in here. Good to go. No stress, no hassle. Once your microfiber cloths are finished, your lens wipes are finished, your sensor brush is finished, you can order all of these items individually and just refill it and ready to go. Right, if you guys want to know what I'm shooting on, obviously, like I mentioned, we're using the FE 2.8-90mm macro G OSS lens. Great for portrait and for macro photography. We're using the A9 body, and we're using the zoom lens, telephoto lens, 24 to 240 external zoom. The f-stop is 3.5 to 6.3, not the sharpest or the fastest, but great quality pictures, especially if you control your ISO, you keep your lens clean, and you keep your shutter speed at the correct speeds. That's it from me. Hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry for not posting in a while. I'm gonna try and get back onto this. I feel like the next topic that we'll cover is some accessories for while I go out to shoot, and I'll just give you a quick peek quickly. This will be one of the items we'll be reviewing. This is for obviously iPhone mount while you go out, while you go shooting, and we'll review the tripod as well. All right, thank you so much for watching. See you on the next one. Take care.